Or sabr we could take to mean like patience and self-control. So when a person attains sabr, then he has got the first class grade result. And this is the highest, you could say, product of tazkiyah. It's a high maqam, and it's a very good status to get to, a good point to get to. So to understand this is what we need to attain from when we do tazkiyah. So if we're doing tazkiyah, purifying ourselves, we're on this journey, then we need to assess and analyze how much sabr do I have. If I don't have sabr, then I need to consider that I have not got to the right point yet. There's still some time to go. There's still a way to go. There's still... Now the asal, the real meaning, or you could say translation or physical meaning of sabr is what? Is that when a person is disobeying Allah, when a person is going towards sin, at that time of disobedience, the person stops himself or herself. This is sabr. So to cease, when a person's nafs desires are inviting a human being, a person to bad, and the person then stops himself or herself, this is the meaning of sabr. Self-restraint. You're walking, you're traveling, you see a beautiful woman, and your nafs says inside, look at this woman. And inside the inclination comes, look at this woman. And if you've got sabr, then straight away you will implement sabr, you will use it and you won't look. So sabr means to suppress the desire, to control, self-restraint. If you've got anger, a lot of anger, and at that time you stop the anger, you do sabr. This is called doing sabr. So here, all of these sins, acts of disobedience that the nafs invites us towards, if we implement that invitation or go towards that invitation, then that person doesn't have sabr. But if that person stops and exercises self-restraint, controls himself, takes himself or herself away from that sin or bad action, then that person is exercising sabr, demonstrating sabr. So this is what we need to attain, and this can only be attained through tazkiyah, purification of the soul and the heart. And when a person attains sabr, then he's saved from all of the negatives. This is such a quality sabr, that sabr saves a person from all negativities, from all evil, from all darkness and the effects of darkness. And we should always, every second, be practicing direct. Even then the accounting, the day of Hisab will not have even started. That Jamaat will go towards paradise and they'll get to the doors of paradise. And the angel will say, where are you going, oh foolish people? Allah has even started the day of judgment yet. Who told you to come here to Jannah? Who sent you? They said, we are the people of sabr. Oh, people of sabr. Oh, yulqawna, Allah says, Allahu Akbar. أولئك يجزون الغرفة بما صبروا ويلقون فيها تحية وسلاما. Oh, you are the people who are steadfast and you are sabr. Welcome, welcome. We were waiting for you. And they will meet therein with welcome and the word of peace. ويلقون فيها تحية وسلاما. We cannot commentate on this commentary. This is such a word. تحية وسلاما. Allah says, صبروا ويلقون فيها تحية وسلام. In the hadith it is mentioned in the tafsir of this, that when nafs says, oh look at this woman, nafs says look at this program, or look at this broadcast, and nafs says, oh do this action. If nafs says, oh don't keep the beard, oh we don't need to, oh just trim it to this height, to this length, oh your life's fine, oh what will people say, what will people say? Nobody will say anything to anyone if you practice the deen of Islam. No one has no interest with anybody's life in this world. Practice number one, the virtue of Ramadan, Allah Ta'ala has mentioned, is what? The reward for sabr. The reward for exercising self-restraint, self-control. Allah says the whole value of Ramadan is based on sabr. If you take sabr out of Ramadan, then Ramadan's gone. There's no reward, isn't it? Isn't this the case? That what's stopping us from eating? Sabr. Control. What's stopping us from drinking? Sabr. What's stopping us from going to our wives? Women. Sabr. Self-restraint. What's stopping us from sinning? All of the sins. Sabr. Control, self-control. So this is the month of sabr. If we take sabr out of Ramadan, Ramadan's gone. So all of the rewards of Ramadan that Allah Ta'ala says, I'm giving the barakah, the blessings, is all for sabr, for patience, exercising control and restraint. So this is what we need to learn. Allah says Ramadan is inviting you to the same conclusion. Ramadan says, I'm the month of sabr, the month of control, the month of restraint. This is my quality, this is my characteristic, the supreme quality of Ramadan. Number one, Priority number one. So Ramadan, and not just because in Ramadan Allah says that if you cannot exercise restraint and control in Ramadan, then how will you do this for the rest of your life? How? Ramadan, if you don't correct your parents in Ramadan, if you don't leave haram in Ramadan, if you don't improve your lives and change your life for the better in Ramadan, if you don't reject the sins and bad and evil in Ramadan, if you don't cleanse your homes in Ramadan, if you don't plan for a good future in Ramadan to save yourself from sin and vice, then the rest of your life, how will sabr come into your life? If you can't do it in Ramadan, then tazkiyah, miskiyah, leave all of this. Allah says, you're just playing a game, then you're an ullu, you're a foolish bird, and you will continue to be like this for the rest of your life. Which hadith is there? That person whose Ramadan is spoiled, then his life is spoiled and he has nothing left to. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that all the laws I've given to you that don't do this action, A, B, C, D, E, then there's poison inside the action. There's maut, there's death, there's destruction, there's loss, there's wretchedness. And in no way should I think I will get sukoon or peace or success or good life through the sins. There's death. As soon as I touch those sins that Allah Ta'ala has told me not to do, then I will lose out 100%. 100%. Allah says, I'm your creator. I've got more wisdom and understanding than you. If I'm telling you to leave certain actions, then imagine the loss and the negativities included in those sins. And if Allah is saying, do these actions, A,